Uh, Greetings and salutations. I should put on my glasses. But I've been sitting here thinking, I'm at home, of course. And I was like, I could say so much about us. And I'm just talking about skin folk. We have given this God that we heard about so much credit. We have given this God we were told about from people that used to kill us, that redlined us, that we couldn't buy houses that for the most part we built. We couldn't move into these nice neighborhoods for the most part we built. I could say so much about this God, and I was thinking, I was saying to myself, I don't know how this God got so big in our lives. I don't know how that happened. And then I said, well, when you hear people talking about something all of the time, you tend to look at their opinion and think that it's right. Slaves, I ask people every day, all the time, that believe in God and want me to believe in God. You tell me what slave, the first slave that got off the boat, what he or she or what they said about this God. Now, I can see why they thought that the white man was the bomb, because he was the master. He had rule over everything. And we just were brought here to work. We weren't even considered to be even human. We were not considered to be human. So I could say so much about that, but I don't know why we feel good. We feel good when we be like, yeah, I'm a Christian, or I'm saved, or whatever they told us about. I don't know how we got so comfortable with that position. The church last year, I looked on the internet, made $420 billion last year. $420 billion. And then black church. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I know a lot of black people that go to church and they don't have money. You know what I'm saying? They don't have money. They don't have what those other people have. We scrapping to make ends meet. We have songs that say that we are scrapping to basically pull it all together. So I said to myself, I've seen and I've heard a whole lot of black people say, well, if they had some money, or if I have this, well, I'm sitting back thinking to myself, my great grandparents, they bought land out there in Cordova, Tennessee. Right now, my family still owns that land. It's right at 2 acres. I didn't even know. My mama came in today and we were talking to my cousin or whatever. But anyway, long story short, the store out there, they sold, or they selling, or sold, well, not selling, but sold some of that land. So really, it's about 2 acres of land. 2 acres of land. that we own. I didn't even know it. My mom was like, she said today, she was like, I'm in the kitchen and talking to our cousin, and she was like, yeah, well, they own parts of that land where that store is. And I was sitting there saying to myself, I don't understand. So they wasn't even thinking about me per se when they bought that land. They wasn't even thinking about my cousins and I. They wasn't even thinking about that. But they knew that that was money. My great-granddad, Bubba Jones, he bought that land. He didn't know how much it would be worth in 2020. Right at 2 acres of land. I don't know when he bought their house, but I know it was probably like in the 1950s, possibly. Probably 1950s. And he wasn't thinking about 2020. That land lasts longer than that. Both my great grandparents are dead now, but we still have that land. It's crazy. So I'm talking to my other cousins, and I was like, since you moved here, y'all could build a house there. Then I was like, not only that, you can have an Airbnb on that land. You can have a hotel on that land. You can have a whole lot of other stuff that we need. That we rent. We rent. See, we rent our houses. We ain't even thought about that. But we rent out our houses now. Some of us. Not all of us. But rent out our houses. I look at Mexicans and I look at the Arabs and everything. They don't live in Memphis. They have businesses in Memphis, in the black community in Memphis, but they don't live here. They don't live here. They don't stay in the city of Memphis. They live in Bartlett and Cordova and stuff like that. They don't live here. So I'm sitting back and I'm talking to my cousin, and I was like, my grandmother had bought some land. She sold for a little bit of nothing. And it's a company sitting on that land. It was a fucking, look, the land was like, you had like a garden in the back. She had corn on the cob. She had a peanut tree, all of this stuff. Then on the sides, she had the outhouse, had an outhouse, had a full court basketball. So both of them. But anyway, long story short, she sold that land for a little bit of nothing. But her parents, they have 2 acres of land in Cordova. And I'm sitting back thinking to myself, white people don't do that. You know what? We laugh at Mexicans and stuff like that, and like 50 million of them in that one car. I realize they don't sell their land. They build on their land. Y'all black folk, we skin people. I'm just saying. You might have some parents or great grandparents or grandparents or whatever have a house that out there in Cordova and in Mississippi, some parts of Tennessee. You ain't even thinking about. You ain't even thinking about. I wasn't even thinking about that land. I had to look up on the internet how much the land, what's the price of the land, well, how much land it was. Got me thinking. It got me thinking. I was like, like if they build on that land, and my folks come out down here from like out of town, they stay in hotels and stuff like that. My cousin was telling me yesterday, they staying in the Airbnb. And I'm sitting back saying to myself, I'm thinking, why don't we do that? Why you in the sorority and fraternity? Why aren't y'all doing that? Why aren't y'all buying land now? The Rona is going around, and the land prices are dropping. We got to think. We got to get out of this stinking thinking. That was the preacher told me that. Stinking thinking. We got to stop stinking thinking. We got to get out of that phase of stinking thinking for ourselves. We don't think about legacy. We don't think about legacy. We don't think about our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. We don't even think about it. We think about self first. So I already decided. I started studying money. I moved in with my mom and everything. I still pay bills. I still got credit card bills. One I'm going to be paying off next month. Then I have one more credit card that I got from like, I forgot what the name of the store is. But anyway, it's a store. And I got a credit card from them, and it was like $3,000. And that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting back saying to myself, what if, this is another train of thought right here. What if we save money from with our kids once we find out we pregnant? Once we find out we having a baby, you save $100 a day or a week. By the time your child goes to graduate high school, going to college or whatever, it's an option. You see what I'm saying? It's an option. We don't think like that. We not thinking like that. Well, you know what? Not y'all. I wasn't thinking like that. For one, I don't have any children. I'm a lesbian, so I don't have any children. But I got this brain. I don't have time to think about myself. I'm thinking about legacy. My cousins, they got children. I can pass it on to them. It's crazy what we could do with money. I'm always hearing people, I'm broke. I don't know how many black people I heard say, I ain't got no money. My mama the first one. And then I used to say to myself, why you buy cigarettes? You know, why do you buy liquor? Why do you buy those things but you ain't got no money? That's what I used to say when I was little. We not thinking about that. I'm talking to my cousin today. He's older than me. He's like my mom's age. You know, he's a little bit older than my mom. But anyways, I'm thinking about my grandmother. She was born in 1933. Minimum wage was 50 cents. She had 10 kids. Minimum wage, 50 cents. Growing up, I ain't hear them complain about, yeah, I'm hungry, or we don't have this, or whatever. I don't I don't recall any of those things being said, but I'm for sure they didn't have the best of everything. But they made do with what they had. Like I said, my grandmother had a basketball fucking court, 2 sides, 2 goals. I mean, a garden in the back. My great grandparents, they got 2 acres of land. I didn't even know that the it's a house. I mean, not a house, but a store sitting on parts of that land that they owned. I did not know that. I don't know if they sold that land or what. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. What is he doing? Bean. What? But anyways, that's the dog. But anyways, I was sitting back thinking. I be here thinking. I be sitting in my room thinking. I have a family event tomorrow. I think we gonna pull names for Christmas or whatever. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. But I'm still thinking, when I talk to my family, because some of them are down here from Detroit, I'm going to talk to them all. Why not? Why not? We got to think like they thinking. You know why people don't sell their land? They don't sell their land. Mexicans, they build on their land. Jewish people, they buy businesses. They buy companies. They buy the movie industry. And then I was thinking about this. White people don't know us. Look at the movies. Look at the movies that they sing. That they blackface and all that stuff like that. They don't know us. They don't know us. They didn't take the chance to get to know us. What they thought of us, that's what they thought of us. It's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not trying to convince them. I'm not trying to convince them that I'm human. Cause that's the first thing we got to understand. They don't know that we are human. Okay. Alright. You can be super smart. The first black person that was a millionaire in the United States was a barber. He used to cut hair. He became a millionaire. I don't know exactly how he did it. Did save his money, or I don't know exactly how they did. But the point of it all is he was a millionaire. I don't know his name. Forgot his name. I used to know his name. Got to go on the internet to find out his name. But either way it goes, we don't think about saving. We give so much money to a God that we will never meet. We don't have tangible proof. We don't have tangible proof of this God that they taught us about. They used to kill us and still killing us today. Look at George Floyd. Look at all these black people in 2020. Just say 2020. They have already killed. We not thinking. So, like I said, I was thinking this right here. I said I want a few women that are intelligent, that are smart, to put back $100 a month. That's what I was saying. And then we buy land. Then I was like, well, it can't just be women. Because the world is not made up of just women. I know that women are capable, savvy, but we not thinking about buying land. Why I say that? I say if we buy land, We don't have to rent. We don't have to ask them for anything. We can come to us to buy. I mean, I'm looking. Rick Ross, he bought 47 acres of land in Georgia for $1 million. Y'all get what I'm saying? I learned from my aunts and my mom and aunts. If you put your money together, you can get what you want. If you put your money together, you can get more than what you want. They bought my grandmother stuff that one person couldn't afford of themselves or alone. So they got their sisters and brothers together and pitch in, and then they got my grandmother whatever it is she wanted that year. That's the same way I'm thinking about us. Y'all can inbox me at any time. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm saving $100 a month. Y'all be peace.